Welcome to the Hi5 series on America's Card Room, where I will be commentating, I don't know, 4 tournaments. Again, if there's no, you know, doing a chop, but we can see there's no chops here. Although the real tell that there's no chop is the fact that I'm doing this at all. So, as usual, congratulations to everybody who made the money. This is not everybody who made the money, but it's about half of them. And, I gotta say, nothing makes me more excited as a commentator than to be tracking down these guys' countries and putting down 10 unique flags in a row. I'm dead serious. This is the most international field of pretty much any sporting event I've ever seen in my life. There were 10 unique flags in a row, and then a bunch of repeats, but still 10 flags out of the last 16 players. And okay. Yeah, let's see. Shout outs to Marco van Basten was from Malta. Weekends. Oh, wait, no, hold on. One at a time. Fuzztacular was from Canada. Brandon Aces from United States. Olag 21, Brazil. Billionai 8, Mongolia, if you can believe that. Presumably from Ulaanbaatar, because I really can't see anywhere besides the capital having anything to do with internet poker. But anyway, Weekend Sick, Brazil. Sobima was Belarus. And Pocket Rocket was Russia. And we still have these 8 guys coming from 6 different countries. 2 from Great Britain, 2 from Austria, and then 1 each from United States, Lithuania, Russia, and Brazil. Let us get a move on here. We've already got an Ace-King suited, I see. And under the gun, Ace-10 off for Blueberry QT with just 10 big blinds makes a min raise. Nice fold from the King Queen there. I assume the goal is just to look scarier, but you're not going to get Ace King. I mean, that fold was correct. All right, Blueberry was dominated, but you have 10 big blinds, and you just put in 1/5 of your stack just to fold when you already have 1/3 as many chips as the next shortest stack. That doesn't sound like winning poker in the long run. Nice fold by Harry Angel, though, with the ace-jack. And, oh yeah, the next hand is your big blind. That is just a baffling play. I really can't wrap my head around that one. Again, it wasn't incorrect that fold was the right thing to do, but, you know, what if Donkey Praz is doing that with, say, pocket sevens? Or King Queen suited? And now you got King 8 offsuit with 7 big blinds behind, facing a min raise. Now what do you want to do? Gonna call and hit the 8. Good for you. Like, the thing is, everyone has a different idea of what constitutes a shove or fold stack. Personally, I think 10 big blinds in any context is shove or fold. But we can do a little bit of wiggle room if we're like 14, 13 big blinds, depending on the structure. But look at the structure. Badly timed bet by Donkey Praz there, but understandable. But anyway, look at the structure here. We have 96 big blinds here, 82 big blinds here, 62. This is a much nicer, deeper structure. It's 15 minutes per level. So being down to 10 big blinds makes you very short. And again, I must reiterate, Blueberry has 1/3 as many chips as the next shortest stack. So I'm sorry, but 10 big blinds is all in her fold. Period. However, it looks like I'm going to call her she because it's a Minnie Mouse profile. She is going to get away with it because she does flop top pair here and is being bet into. There's the all-in. Should be a fold from the ace high. It's a call from the ace high. Oh, hey. That was kind of ugly. Not going to lie. That was kind of ugly. The only justification I can possibly give for that is that Donkey Pros might have thought that he was just pot committed at that point because Blueberry just didn't have enough chips to protect her stack. Maybe not committing 400,000 just to fold on the previous hand would have helped with that a little bit. Maybe just saying. But yeah, obviously that was just a complete shot in the dark by Donkey Pros and happened to hit it. So I do feel bad for Blueberry. That's kind of an ugly way to go, but she kind of had a hand in her own destruction as well with the way she played that previous hand. Yeah, I'm being a commentator. I gotta call things out. So, still, you turned your $215 buy-in, 215, into $5,916. No shame in that game. Well done getting here. I'm sure she played very well to get here. Just if you got 1/3, if you have 8 players left and you have 1/3 as many chips as 7th place, just shove. Now all of a sudden, Harry Angel and S. Reg Tack become the 2 short stacks, but they both have plenty of maneuverability. This final table is going to take an age and a half. I'm a geologist. This is going to take an epoch. I never really did learn how to pronounce that word. I've heard it pronounced epic, epoch, E-P-O-C-H. English is weird. Anyway, Caldini raises with the ace-9 offsuit. Bit of a borderline situation there, being so early position, but I get it, obviously. And the kings, of course, are going to 3-bet here. Or could just call. Nah, it's going to go ahead and 3-bet. That's probably the safer move. Because you never want to call and slow play with kings and then see an ace pop out on the flop. Especially when your opponent actually has one. So, nice quick little pickup. Although I must root against this person because he is the first to activate the green button. I just automatically root against anybody who's that much into taking a deal. I'm sure they're a wonderful person in real life behind the computer. But at the moment, I hate you. Okay, hate's a strong word, but you know, I'm just not fond of deals. Rather not waste too much time in lieu of commentary, although I do that a lot. If you want to know, then just ask in the comments and I will reply to you in as concise and controlled a manner as I can. Alright, so standard raise from the button with suited ace, standard call with 10-7 of clubs, standard flop. One of them hits a little bit, the other one completely whiffs. This probably won't be very big. Caldini checks to the pre-flop raiser, which is standard. I wouldn't mind seeing a donk bet in that spot, but yeah, MHE is just going to go ahead and go for the continuation bet. And this doesn't really seem like a situation that would merit a second continuation. Well, now maybe he will, with the hearts coming through, the straights coming through. There's a lot on that turn that MHE can represent. Caldini, though, improves a little bit by picking up a gut shot, but again, there's 3 hearts out there. The pair of 7s is good, but it's hard to believe that. It does go check. The 5 does not give Caldini the straight. MHE just has ace high, but now there's even more out there to represent. any random, pocket nines or pocket fours, which is plausible the way this hand played out, now has a straight. Caldini is taking his sweet time. Is he going to try and represent this? Nice! Pot-sized bluff, turning that pair into a bluff. That's a very creative play, and it gets the job done. Well done. Nice. Of course, it probably helped out a little bit by the fact that his opponent obviously wants to do a deal. Uh-oh. And if they want to do a deal, it's usually a fairly safe bet that they're willing to play a little bit more on the conservative side. Because the idea is they want to hold on to at least having some chips and pray that other people start pressing the green button. Obviously, if you run out of chips, then you don't get to participate in the deal, Ooh! Gonna be a real small pot, though. We have ace, queen, 5, rainbow. If you got a flop that, if you have a flop that good, you probably ought to just slow play it, because there's very little on the turn that's going to scare you. In fact, I can't think of a single turn card that would make me all that scared. Nippler has the easiest fold in the world. I can't say I like that bet by Pudel Power. Unfortunately, Nippler here has been hit by robot connectivity, so I'm going to speed this up for you. Yeah, easy fold. Can show it? No. You don't see people show their cards at the final tables very much, do they? If I make one, I'll show some cards. Actually, I have made one in a free roll. S-Reg Tak, the suited king-queen, gets my vote for the prettiest hand in poker. Pudel Power with small suited connectors. It's like the quintessential defend your big blind type hand. Or not. I mean, I can dig that. That was an early position raised by a relatively short stack player. Actually, the short stack. So, he gave him a lot of credit. That's fair. We know he would have had live cards, but he was worried that he might be up against a pair. And if he's up against a pair, it's almost certainly better than 5-3. So he'll need a lot of help to survive. Nippler with a race on the button. Easy call from the King 10. And that flop is from the wrong deck. Each player has back doors. That's it. Harry might float this with the King High. He's obviously got more back doors than Nippler, and Nippler, of course, has the big stack, so he can push around more liberally. But Harry's just gonna let it go. I probably would have too. I'll freely admit ooh, we got Queens versus Ace King here. I'll freely admit I'm not really the most creative player when it comes to floating and just playing in a marginal spot. I think MHE here is short enough that this will get in pre-flop. Donkey will only be risking a third of his stack with the Ace-King. I think people are starting to wise up about Ace-King in general. They're not, super-duper eager to just get it in pre-flop every single time, but this is a spot where I think Donkey just got to sigh and go with it. Or maybe MHE will just call with the queens. Maybe waiting and scoping out the flop and see if there's an ace or a king, in which case, very nice stack management by MHE. He's not desperately short, so he's waiting to see if the flop is clean, then he'll push. Obviously, the flop's not clean, and Donkey with a really nice small bet there to try and sucker MHE in, which he very well might take, to see if he can just spike one extra queen. There's no flush draws out there. His 2 outs are very, very clean, so he's going to keep chasing. Donkey, I think, has a very good idea that he's well ahead here. He might be a little scared of that jack. But, again, he's got plenty of chips here. I don't think he's really all that worried. Ace-King feels like it's the nuts. And again, he's going for a very small bet. MHE. The way he played that pre-flop kind of tells you that he kind of put donkey on ace-king, and that's a very nice fold. Very good discipline on his part. Very good fold. Just based on the way he played pre-flop, you can tell he could smell the ace-king from donkey there. The only reason he called on the turn was just to see if maybe he could spike another queen on the turn, and it was because it was so cheap, but he was not willing to pay 980,000 to try and hit another queen. And besides, maybe donkey has jacks, and that jack him, things like that. Very good discipline. Now, MAG in the big blind with pocket fours, probably a set mining operation, I would think. Yeah. And no set again. There's that queen that he was looking for. Donkey with my favorite hand, King 10. Not exactly a wonderful flop for King 10, but it'll do. And MHE, I think, is just going to fold this one. This really felt like a no set, no bet situation, He's so short stack, he's may as well just play it pretty much straight. So nice level there for Donkey. Very good start for his final table. Yeah. Again, $215 buy-in, and I'm noticing a lot of familiar faces making some deep runs here. So sure enough, there is a noticeable hierarchy on ACR between the people who know how to make it deep in many tournaments and the guys like me who can't even get past late reg. Even though I'm not sure if I'm doing anything wrong, but there's always something out there. Harry Angel in particular, I've seen in a lot of tournaments, and Donkey Praz as well. Nippler, I've seen a little bit of him too. I think I've seen MHE like once or twice before. The rest, I don't know much about. Well, I don't know anything about them at all, but, I haven't seen them much. Yeah, ACR seems to be very good on privacy and making sure that nobody knows anything about each other. Of course, the downside to that is there's no social activities, like there is on Replay Poker, which is, of course, fake money. I'd love to actually have an opportunity to win real money playing poker, but I mean, I won't lie. If my attempts keep flaming out the way they are, I'll be running right back to Replay Poker and into the calm serenity of actually having a chat box. Well, it's usually calm and serene. Sometimes if there's just a jerk running his mouth there because he knows that this is the internet and nobody can punch him in the face for what he says. Luckily, I find those to be few and far between. I like the fold there of the 7-6 suited under the gun +1 with a short stack. That is what Mr. Chris Ferguson's been telling me to do in Poker Wizards. This could well be an all-in here. I think MHE's just got to roll with it now. He played the queens carefully, which I think is to his credit. I think that was a good idea. But now he's got to roll with it now. And Caldini's going to accelerate that by raising all in himself. And there's an ace on the flop. MHE really with not much of a backdoor outs. I mean, he could hit running queen jack, but one of the jacks gone right there. And it has to be a 10. Nope, it's an overkill ace. MHE, I like the way you played those queens, honestly. However, you were the guy who wanted to do a chop, so get lost. Uh-oh. We're seeing him. And again, this is probably going to be a very small pot. Nobody else has anything. But well played, MHE. You get $8,950. Personally, I'd be happy with that. Off of a $215 buy-in. Oh, he is going to get looked up by the King 4 offsuit. Definitely did not have to do that, and that's not a great flop for aces. but I think Harry is just too short stat to care right now. Check. Ooh! Spice. Nippler obviously is drawing dead, but 4 cards to a straight, and there's also 3 clubs. Harry has the ace of clubs, so at this point, like, half of Harry's brain is happy and half of it is completely despairing right now. Keeps on checking. The king hits Nippler, of course, not hard enough, and I really can't see either player going wild over this. Maybe like a bet of 250k from Nippler and a call at most. Maybe 350k. No, it's going to go check. Check, probably. I mean, if you're Harry, what's going to call you exactly? What's going to call you that you're beating? Like, 2 pair will call a small bet, and the only thing that's going to call a big bet is a straight or a flush. Well, if it's a flush, it's probably going to raise the way the hand played out. So I actually do like to check back. Pretty much the worst hand it's going to call you is either a random king, which you happen to have there, or 2 pair. Queens for Caldini. And that's it. Oh boy, this is a long final table. Look at that time bar. Favorite hand, King 10 of hearts. Blinds went up. 6-4 of clubs, my other favorite hand. My second favorite hand now. Big stack. In the cutoff, says no to it. Pudel certainly could think of worse hands to play in the small blind. Limp. Don't know if I like that. I guess he's just asking Harry to name his price to play. So, ooh, okay. Well, Harry's gonna flop 3 jacks, and Pudel has a gut shot and some backdoor hearts. So neither player's going away yet, but Harry's very happy right now. He'll make a min bet. Pudel's not going anywhere. Just whatever you don't raise. In a vacuum, a raise would not be the worst play in the world, but we can see it would be a punt. Ooh. So not the card Pudel was looking for, but at least it gives him something. We know that he can only win with a queen. Nice bet size. Little over half pot. Pudel with enough to keep going, you would think. And 2 of hearts, a little too late for a heart to pop off. Check bet call. Depending on how much Harry bets, obviously. Basically like 900,000, I think it's a easy call. I wouldn't bet too much. That's skewing too much. Let's see if Pudel folds here. Like my worry is if you bet too much, then the only thing that's going to call you would be a better jack. Will King 10 call here? This is a really, really tough decision. Really, no matter what Harry bets, it was going to be an interesting decision. That's like right on the level of being like this deserves to be thought about a lot. Nice fold though. Pudel gets out of it fairly cheaply. He still has 21 big blinds. And we have 3 halves and 3 have-nots. Caldini with a raise with the King 7 of diamonds. Call from the 2s. And S-Reg Tack is not going to see this flop. Come on. Nice flop for King 7. I can think of worse flops for 2s as well. There's only one big card in there. Pre-flop aggressor checks, and that invites Nippler to come ahead and bet. Not sure if he was setting up a check raise or was just trying for a pot control here. I like the idea of a check raise here. He's just going to call and hits a 7. Now he might be check raising. Question is, does Nippler really want to follow that up with just a pair of 2s? He can get a little wild here, but he doesn't want to obviously get too wild considering the stack sizes, but that is a pretty big bet. Now Caldini could check raise, or could just call for pot control because this is getting pretty big. Nippler only wins with a 2 on the river. It is just a call. That 9 seems like a brick. Caldini will check. Nippler really should not be continuing here. Anything he bets is going to get snap called. That 9 really didn't change anything. Yeah, good check. Because the 6-8 was already a straight. That 9 did nothing. So, you thought better of it. Good job showing some restraint there, and Caldini manages to slow play his way to the chip lead. Small pickup for Harry. This is one of those things that's going to take so long. I'm fully aware that the window is probably just going to crash at some point. Raise from the King Jack. And I like that he went with just a regular raise. He's got 20 big blinds, but that's still enough to play a little bit of poker. I'm glad he agrees with that. Back in 07 or 08, people would be thinking, just move all in there. It's only 20 big blinds. 20 big blinds is playable. Ooh. Apparently jacks are a hot card. We've seen Harry Angel flop trip jacks with Jack 4, and now Caldini flops trip jacks with Queen Jack. And Nippler probably has no interest in this one. I'm a little surprised it went limp call. Maybe that's why he decided to call here. I don't know what he sees in his hand. He just has ace high with no draw. Well, Caldini's going to try and slow down because this worked last time pretty well. I mean, Caldini cannot be scared of anything the way this hand's played out. There can't be any doubt in his mind that it has the best hand. With that being said, make a decision. You're wasting your time, Bank. I don't know if I can get away. Unless he just wants to make a hero call. Now he's thinking about it. He really thinks that the ace high might be good here. I guess it's understandable because it went limp call pre-flop in the blinds. He is going to call with the ace high. Well played again by Caldini. Hero call gone wrong from Nippler. Raise from Donkey Praz. Haven't heard too much from him lately. Heard barely anything from S-Reg Tack. And we will continue to not hear much from him because that's a terrible hand. Caldini suited ace-10. Should just get folded. Harry, I assume, will call with the minimum ace. No, he's just going to fold. Maybe out of respect or fear for Caldini, because he is playing very well. 9-8 of diamonds. Could fold because it's early position, but with that many chips, I'm with him for that raise. Gotta watch out for this Caldini character. Well, I would say that, but I'm probably a ways away from competing in the same stake levels as this guy anyway. Any of these guys. I'm still slumming it around the $2, $3, $4 mark. I'm losing at that level, so if you want me to play at the $215 level, no thanks. I actually can't. My bankroll is at like 209 or something like that. I'm not planning on investing anymore. It was such a pain in the butt the first time. Raise from the Jack-9. S-Ray attack has been extremely quiet, so even from the small blind, that's got to get some credit, and it does. Pair versus pair versus pair. Notice that 9-6 went in the muck, so Donkey Praz is in terrible shape here. S-Reg has 22 big blinds. You would think with two other stacks similarly short that S-Reg will be playing this relatively straight and, you know, not cowering in fear of being the next one to get knocked out. Paulini's in a good spot here. Does not make the all-in re-raise. Probably because Donkey Praz is still there. You don't want to move all-in and suddenly realize, oh, wait, I forgot about Donkey Praz. Oh my god, he has aces for 20 million. Yeah. Now, as an attack, although he, with only 5 million behind, is deciding for his whole stack. Pump it or dump it. It's a tough one. But he's going to dump it. Maybe influenced by the fact that Donkey was still in the hand. But we know that was a correct decision. S-Reg left with 4.9 million. But still in it. That's probably supposed to be Donkey Pros. But for some reason I like saying Donkey Praz. And there's the all-in. Pudel sort of stack at the table. That all-in might be a little bit much, but you know, alright, you got the job done. But again, usually 3.5x gets the job done just as well. Kepler with a suited ace. Okay, this guy has a really interesting concept of how big of a raise you need to make to push people around. Harry in the big blind had 26 big blinds. Just open shove 26 big blinds. This is 2007. Cool. If you happen to be called, your ace-3 suited is worthless. Okay, it's not worthless, but it's behind. You know that. Just raise 3x or 3.5x, gets the job done every time. If they happen to have a big hand, they'll let you know and you can get out cheaply. Do not open shove 26 big blinds under any circumstances. S-Reg with the good decision there to just fold and give it up because Donkey had 2 10s there. No one's got anything here. You're six-handed, so... I mean, the 5-4 suited's okay, I guess. The king-9 off is okay. Nippler probably just happy to be going against someone other than Caldini at this point. It's obviously better flop for Nippler than it is Donkey Prize. Nippler willing to just play it on face value so far. Donkey was still just 5 high. That could be a nice scare card to try and keep the pressure on. He will be doing just that. Nippler with a quick fold, and Nippler's post-flop record is not so good at this final table. Maybe that's why he's raising so much pre-flop. Raise from the Jack-Queen of Spades. And Pudel Power wishing he had some more chips to play that. But he will. He'll try. Ooh, okay. Pudel, with the open-ended straight draw, might just commit to it. He's only got 12 big blinds left. Donkey. I mean, if he folds this hand, if he folds this hand, I'm never playing poker again. On the flop, that is. Goes check, check. Flush. Maybe Pudel was checking and waiting to see if the turn was a spade. Yeah. He's still good. Ooh, he got the straight! Pudel got the straight. This could not have played out better for Donkey Prize. I did acknowledge that it's probably supposed to be Donkey Pros. Does that get me off the hook from angry viewers? Well, there's the completely understandable bet, and Donkey Prize obviously is going to move all in here. There's no other move. And now Pudel probably... Oh, he's just going to rip it in straight up. I mean, I guess I can totally understand that. He only had 10 big blinds left, and he had a straight. Donkey Prize is bluffing there a lot of the time, so... At least I would think so. How I went broke in 12 minutes in one of the poker tournaments I played recently. But yeah. Not much he could do there. He hit the straight. He just had to go with it. He was getting real short. So. Well done, Pudel. Donkey Prize waited and then struck when everybody else had their guard down. $11,984 to our, well, one of our friends from Austria. Another friend from Austria is going to get even more. This smells like a pre-flop all-in. S-Rig finally has a hand to go with. Donkey Prize has enough to call, and certainly from that huge stack he can afford it. One club. And that's a bad card for Donkey Prize. He can only win with a queen now. Okay. S-Reg with the double up. So our friend from Lithuania is still in it. Five players, 4 countries. United Kingdom, the only country left with more than one representative. Everybody here has some chips. Harry with 19 big blinds is our short stack. Everybody else, nearly 30 big blinds or better. You know, S-Ray is not exactly a have, but he's not a have-not either. He's got enough chips to damage the top 3. Min bet, call, straight for Donkey Prize. S-Rag, probably it would behoove him to shut it down here. That's not the card he wanted to see. He does shut it down. Will Donkey Paws try slow playing again? Worked out really well last time. We're seeing a lot of successful slow plays at this final table, aren't we? Maybe he feels like mixing up his game and he'll bet a million. I was going to bet even more than that. That might be too much for S-Rig. He might have S-Rig on an ace. An ace might pay that off. I don't think a king will. We know the only way S-Rig drags any chips out of this pot is if a jack comes for the chop. Nines for Harry Angel. Let's see how they lose this hand. Actually, they might just get around. If you can win the minimum with pocket nines, take it. Caldini is really using his time bank pretty liberally, isn't he? I really don't condone that. If you, like, you're being given 12, 13 seconds to make a decision pre-flop. That really shouldn't require that much. There you go, minimal win with pocket nines. Good job, Harry. That sounds sarcastic, I realize that, but seriously, good job. Any win with pocket nines is a good win. Ace, king, donkey prize, king 8 suited. Certainly good enough to see a flop. Maybe he wants another flop than that. Got a couple backdoors at least. Donkey prize probably would agree with Nippler that he wanted to see another flop. Ace, never mind. I'm sorry, not ace. That. Didn't actually change who was ahead in the hand, but now Nippler's actually drawing dead. Went from, a couple of nice little backdoors there to all of a sudden it's impossible for him to win the hand. Donkey Prod just bets it, Nippler folds, and Nippler's just wondering where the heck all the good cards post-flop are. I've been there too, buddy. A lot. I can totally sympathize with Nippler just not having anything go his way post-flop. I cannot sympathize with him going all in 22 big blinds like that. That's half your own stack, and you got 10-9. What are you doing? 3x or 3.5x or like 1 million. I don't know. You don't have to go for all of it. Harry's not going to play with you if he doesn't have a good hand. King, queen suited. Surprise, that's a limp. Again, that's another name your price kind of thing, I guess. And nice flop for Harry. S-Ray Tech with complete junk. And this time it's not an ace high, so he can just fold. S-Ray has not been active. What is he doing? Is he thinking of getting creative? Well, let's see what the plan is here. Why did he call? He hit 8 high and no draw. Caldini doesn't have to play that from under the gun, but it is 5-handed. He doesn't have to take that long either. They give you finite time bank for a reason. Don't think he had to call with a 10-5 either. They both hit a pair. Caldini with the bonus of having a flush draw. Straight draw. Neither of them have any flush draws. Oh my god, look at that bar. I'm going to be talking about this for a long time. I can always take a break. I can always just pause everything and take a break. And you'd be none the wiser. Except that I just alerted to you that might happen. Donkey Prize, just with that pair of fives. Not excited about it. Caldini doesn't seem too excited about the 7 either. These are obviously the two top stacks. So you would not expect them to get too wild with marginal hands. There's a bet from Caldini. Donkey could call. He will. 2 on the river. Check, check. Sound good to you? Donkey's certainly not going to bet. If you're checking the whole way, and the run out comes 2-2, no way he bets that. Yep, check, check. I think there's no way he bets that, but he was playing a couple hands against Nippler that way, so with really big hands. Just a limp. This is where Nippler goes all in, right? Nah, of course not. But he does just check, and finally the flop actually hits him. We're seeing a lot of limped pots from the small blind and big blind with big hands. Now, there's a lot of post-flop play at this final table, of course, which is refreshing to see. I often pop in on final tables where the average stack is like 15 or 16 big blinds. And don't think I like that check back by Nippler. There's a lot of turn cards that he's not going to like. 8 of diamonds isn't one of the worst, but it certainly does complete a few draws. Now, Caldini, of course, has air. Wait, no, he has a 7 wins it with a gut shot. But now Nippler, any red card completes a flush. There's a lot of straight cards out there, so he will bet. Does Caldini want to chase the gut shot? No, he's smarter than that. As it turns out, there really weren't any avenues to win a bigger pot than that, I don't think. So, Nippler was doomed to win the minimum there. $23 big blinds, which again is half of your entire stack. You have 2-4. What do you want to do? Okay, he does have his limits. Jeez, what are these cards? They're all blocking each other too, so no one's gonna hit anything on the flop. Okay. That raise should work. Everyone's min raising too. I don't know why everybody's min raising. What's wrong with raising to like 720? Caldini with a bit of a borderline hand for under the gun, but again, we're King Jack in the mud. We are oh, good thing he folded it. We are 5-handed. Donkey Paw is in a bit of trouble here. You'd think Caldini's got to keep going here because he was a pre-flop aggressor and he happens to have a good hand here. Donkey's certainly not going anywhere. That may slow people down. Unless Caldini wants to just act like he's unfazed by that, which could be a good strategy if he just wants to win the pot right now. Sometimes I do, sometimes I check back. But he is going to just take it and win the pot right now. Can't really be mad at that. And Caldini extends that chip lead. It's actually fairly significant now. We have King 10 against King 10 here. No one else has anything. S-Reg Tack. It's easy to say this when I can see the cards, of course, but he's been so tight. So a 3-bet all in. Oh, he does though go for the free bet. Not all in, but It looks so strong when he's been so tight, and he has a decent hand here, too. Does Harry want to play with his King 10 offsuit for 900,000 more in his own short stack? I would probably fold. Even though I love King 10, not really looking to call a 3-bet with that few chips. If I had, Donkey Froz's stack, I would probably keep going, but 6.3 million, no, that's not enough. Lines keep going up, but we're still not even, we're like, what, a third of the way through, if that. No, we're not even a third of the way through this. Oh my god, it's going to go on for 150 minutes. 160 minutes. This is going to be a long video. Pretty sure I have the space on my hard drive for this. I'm pretty sure I do, yeah. Because I've covered, my own playthroughs of a tournament that can last up to 3 hours, and have turned out fine. All right, Jack 6 for Caldini misses everything. Nippler, again, finally getting a couple of good flops. Again, not crazy about that check, because he's got top pair, but it's just a 9. He's very fortunate that the turn card is a 4, and he's still got a pretty comfortable hand here. And again, there's 2 diamonds out there. There's a lot of straight draws out there that could materialize on the turn. But he's going to get a bluff by Caldini here. Well, semi-bluff. He can hit a gut shot. He's very lucky that it's turning out as well as it is, and now it's turning out even better with the king. But I would have liked to see a bet there on the flop. Just take it down. But maybe he just figured, these flops have been so terrible, it's time for, a makeup hand, and that's exactly what this is. Nippler started the final table as a chip leader. We've lost 3 players, and now he's finally about to win a big pot. With top 2 paired, the way this hand is played out, he's got to feel like he's got the best of it. I imagine he's going to raise maybe to 4 million or something. Maybe all of it, the way he's been pushing around pre-flop. We can see that Caldini has jack high. Yeah, he does make a raise to 5 million and a little change. Caldini, of course, making a little bit of fake tank and then folding. I don't mind the fake tank as long as it's not egregious. That was not egregious, so yeah, fair enough. So well played by Nippler, although he was fortunate to get the run out he did. But credit where it's due. And he's suddenly right back in it. Caldini's chip lead is virtually non-existent, and we are back to the haves and the have-nots. Harry just can't really... Oh, look at that! 3x! Actually, it's not even 3x. He finally figured it out on his own. But it works out the same way an all-in would, with much less risk. Who knew? I knew. Anyway. Standard raise. Should be a call from Nippler. Oh, wow. Playing a little bit tighter. But I understand that, because on a little bit of a rush, it's nice to just keep the chips you just won for a little while. Is it irrational? I don't know, maybe, but I agree with that line of thinking. Besides, there is a rational component to it with the fact that, playing an excessive amount of hands in a row will probably tip people off to, maybe this is a guy we can play back at. And you don't want that. You want your raises to have a decent amount of respect. Unless you really enjoy playing back at people, in which case you want your raises to get no respect. Now, Harry with the all-in there, that gets respect. 8-9 of clubs versus Queen 3 of clubs. Oh, he's going to go with a 945,000 the same way Nippler did. Caldini certainly would have called a min raise. I don't know if he wants to call it. Oh, he will. And they both airball that flop. Donkey Paws, of course, airballs it a lot worse. Caldini is at least somewhat close to the rim. Donkey Paws is like 10 foot off the rim. And he's going to float with the Queen 3 of spades and get pretty much the best turn card he possibly could have asked for. as now a 4 or a spade wins it for him. Well, actually, anything except for an 8 or a 9 wins it for him. He probably doesn't think he has the best hand right now, but he does. And now he's... If he didn't have the best hand, he has a buttload of outs right now. And he'll bet accordingly, and Donkey, I think, is... Yeah, he's done with the hand. He just wanted to try and win it one more time on the flop and just pitch it in after that. I'm cool with that. Probably got an all-in here. Ace-Queen for Harry Angel is one of the best hands he's seen all final table. Nippler happens to have him crushed, though, with the Ace-King. The blinds are getting a bit bigger, so, again, this is an okay time to get it in with Ace-King or Ace-Queen. Time bank. Did it really take that much time to press the all-in button? Yeah. Oh, got the queen. And no king. Harry Angel's going to stick around with us and double up to 13 million. Nippler left with 12 million. And the chip leader coming into the final table now. 4th place out of the remaining 5. And yeah, I might be a crying basketball head too after that hand. At least I can give Nippler the fact that he hasn't asked for a chop yet. Good spot to 3-bet and get a little bit back here. Ooh. I'm actually okay with that play because it looks super tilty, right? Like he just lost that last hand. It was a bad beat, and now I'm just like, I don't care anymore. Just I don't care. This final table sucks. Just go. But he happens to have a really big hand. So I'm actually okay with going all in there. And he gets the job done either way. He wins that pot, and he's backed up to 13 million. Everything is okay. He's got 37 big blinds. That is enough. S-Reg Tack. Well, he's got to be done waiting. Harry Angel doubled up. So if he wanted to ladder up, he's going to have to do some work now. Of course, we've seen his cards, and they've been bad the whole final table, so it's not his fault. He's not just trying to ladder up. He just genuinely is not picking up some hands. And he's not going to start now. He does have a gut shot, though. And he hits it! S-Rig Tack! Good news! You actually get to pick up a pot here. I can't imagine anything making him fold in a spot like this. At the moment, he has the nuts. Even if the river card is the worst card in the deck, like the 9 of clubs is probably the worst card in the deck. With that stack, he's never folding a straight. We already saw that. Earlier at the final table from Pudel Power. I think it was Pudel. Bet straight against Donkey Pros. Anyway, bet, take the pot. That's as good as you can ask for at this point. Everyone knows he's been playing fairly tight. Not necessarily tight, but he's just not screwing around. So you got to take that bet seriously. 7.9 million, though. He's got 22.5 big blinds. Even as a short stack, that's not bad at all. Not good, but he's nowhere near desperation mode yet. Caldini versus Nippler again. Big raise. That's 3.5x. Check. Yeah, just checking my math. And again, it works out just the same as an all-in with much less risk. They're not going to play back at you. Don't worry about it. Unless they have a really big hand, in which case, just get out. Oh, there's a non-min raise. I like that. 2.2x. Min raises are way too boring. I used to keep raising slightly different amounts between 2.5 and 3.5x, but now I'm a little more comfortable around the 2.4 to 2.8 range, depending on the blind structure, of course. Sometimes I'll even raise like 2.2 or 2.25 or something like that if the blinds are going up really quickly. Anyway, Queen 9 outflops the sixes here, and Nippler really has to like that flop, all things considered. He doesn't love it, of course, because there's no 6, but that's a pretty safe-looking board for 6s. Caldini checks, and I would not blame Nippler at all for firing here. But he does check. Another good card for him. Can move with a 6 or 4 now. And again, from his perspective, he might be thinking, if Caldini doesn't have a 9, I'm still ahead here. Caldini does bet now, and I'd be shocked if Nippler folded here. It's a sizable bet, but Nippler's hand has some value. Jack does not complete any of his hands, but that's not really going to scare him all that much. Caldini might even check back. Well, he'd be checking. Nippler would be the check back, but... Let's see. How much does Caldini think his hand is good here? Oh, he thinks it's good. That's a pretty big bet. So, Nippler with a tough decision here. Didn't complete his hand. He just has a pair of 6s. How many times is Caldini bluffing here? All he beats is a bluff. He's not going to value bet ace-5 like that. I'm surprised he's even value betting a pair of 9s, honestly. But he's got a really good read on the situation. And that's a good fold. Caldini's I definitely think that Caldini is playing the best at this final table. So he's really earned his chip lead. Queen 10 fold. Ace 10 raise. Harry Angel is definitely the one that I see the most running deep in these big tournaments. So he's probably the best, or at least most consistent player overall out of the lot. But we just haven't been able to really see him at full power because he just hasn't had a lot of big hands. He finally has chips, though. So he's definitely dangerous. In a vacuum, S-Reg Tack is even pretty dangerous. I mean, all you have to do is double up against Caldini here, and all of a sudden, you know, S-Reg is at almost 16 million. Caldini's left with 19, you know? So S-Reg is definitely dangerous, too. You can just get a little bit of a card rush. These guys are both checking it down, I guess, respecting their own value with the ace-high and hoping it's good. One of them is right, of course. That would be Harry, who's now up to half the stack of the chip leader. Not bad at all. He was struggling the whole final table. Nippler with a very nice hand now. Will he get to use it? Yes, he will. I think he'll be content to just ship it here. And pick up the free 3.5 big blinds. That's not a ship, but it works. See, now he's beginning to come around to the idea of not having to go all in. As soon as I suggest to go all in, he goes smaller. Of course. King, queen, raise. 8-7 on the button. I play. in position with a hand like 8-7 of clubs, absolutely. Now, what does Harry want to do with Ace Jack? I don't think he's folding. Call or 3-bet? I was going to say 2.7 million, 2.8 million. King Queen goes away. I think 8-7 is going to go away. So, nice pickup for Harry. Yaks for Donkey. He's just been kind of slowly bleeding away the chips. But he's obviously still totally in it. And all it takes is just a couple of little pickups and he can be chip leader again. S-Reg with bad cards, but at least they're suited. Donkey with bad cards that are unsuited. But one of them is a 10. And that's good enough to be in the lead right now. Don't know what happened with my voice there. In the lead. He's going to raise. Again, 3x is all you need. S-Reg probably does not want... Oh, he's going to see a flop, actually. Maybe I'm wrong. And he's going to like that flop. He's got an open-ender. Donkey with just 10 high. But he's got a lot more chips. Now, I doubt S-Reg is going to fold a 1-bet. Yeah, he can call that. But if he misses on the turn... You know, Donkey might be able to get him off of it and just take it down there. Oh, God, now what? Oh, man, if I'm S-Reg, I'm like, why did you give me this card? I hate this card so much. They gave him a pair, but he was looking for a straight, and now he's just in the middle of nowhere. It's not an easy fold. It's not an easy call. Ugh. I hate that card, and I'm not even playing this tournament. Like, this is so frustrating, because he's checking knowing... Oh. Donkey did not bet. I was going to say, he's checking knowing that Donkey's about to bet, and knowing he doesn't want to pay him off. Well, now Donkey actually happens to hit a 10, so this could go check-check. S-Reg just not going to like it. It probably will go check-check. And Donkey will just sheepishly take 3.9 million chips by baking a 10 on the river. S-Reg now in real trouble. Blinds went up too, so... He's the one with the target on his back now. He's got to find a hand to go all in with. And, had news, but we're 5-handed. So you better find that hand quick. Couple of playable hands here. Jack 10 raises, Caldini. We've seen him splash around post flop with some hands like that, but he'll fold this one. Ooh. All spades. Harry missed everything. Nippler had the ace-7. He would have liked that flop, probably. Jack 10 has a spade, and that might just be enough to take this pot down. Yeah. There's really no upside to playing on when you have ace-8 offsuit and the flop comes 3 spades like that. Oh, hey, ace-8 offsuit. Donkey's going to raise. Harry with ace-9 possibly might play. S-Reg. Oh, God, this is a hand you'd love to see a flop with, but you barely have any chips left. However, because that was a min-raise, he can still see the flop, and they gave him a gut shot. Donkey with top pair, top kicker. Oh my gosh. They're giving S-Reg all the tough decisions here. When I say they, of course, I mean the robots. My mortal enemy. And yours. Eventually. I don't know what S-Reg should do here, to be honest with you. He's got a gut shot. He's got one overcard. They're both good, but that's 7 outs twice. And he's going to wait for a better spot. I think I like that play. I think Donkey's playing pretty well here. S regular suited ace here pretty much has to just jam. Yeah. I might have played that 9-10 suited, but he's getting a little short. And he wants to have a better spot. We got an ace off. Again, we see a limp with a pretty raisable hand. We'll call Dini, let it happen. Not this time. That's 4x. Donkey might even fold this. Ooh! Limp re-raise. He's got that ace, so he knows that his opponent probably doesn't have two of them. He has a big ace, but that's a big commitment to make here with ace-10. And he does lay it down. Good job, Donkey Prize, getting the better ace to fold. Because we haven't seen a lot of that at this final table at all. Like, there's really no precedent for that kind of play. Oh, tough one again for S-Reg. I'd probably go with it here. He's probably going to get called by the better ace, though. And worse news, there's an 8 right there. He does go for it. I can't blame him. But they gave him the very bottom of his shoving range. I see a lot of myself in the way S-Reg's plight has gone. There's an 8, though! Got a lot of cars to dodge. Most notably a 10 or a 9. That's just a 10 or a 9. Okay, he made it. S-Reg has doubled up. Everyone here has at least 10 million. Very thrilling for anyone watching this. For those of us who are actually commentating it. Oh my gosh, that's why this game is lasting forever. And forget about me. These guys, these guys know they're in for a marathon. Oh, another break. I'm starting to question whether or not I actually want to play any of these games. If I know they're going to take this long. I mean, I do want to play them. There's no doubt about it. I'm wearing my San Diego State graduation shirt. As we are playing in a world championship tonight. Well, the 4th time the city of San Diego has ever played in the world championship at the major sport or college level. We're 0-3. I say we, even though I've been living in Northern Ohio for like 9 months now. But, you know, 9 months in Ohio versus 26 years in San Diego. I'm still gonna feel partial to San Diego, okay? Not that I'm not enjoying Ohio. I am. But I got my degree from here, man. It took me 9 years to get a degree. I'm gonna be proud of the place I got my degree from. Fives, 10-9 offsuit, fours. I figured Nippler would fold if he didn't want to play the suited version of that. Harry could play. He'd be out of position, of course. He'd be chasing a set, while Caldini can actually push the action as the aggressor. Or maybe we can just not play a pot at all. But maybe that's what Harry was thinking about. I don't want to just call him just to set mine when Caldini could just keep pressuring me no matter what. I probably would have played, though, because I was getting the discount being in the small blind and everything. Plus, if the flop with all small cards, you could donk bet and try and throw your opponent off a little bit. I enjoy doing that. Regular raise from the small blind. Caldini could have played, but doesn't really think that 6-4 is worth it there. Ooh. But here's a spot he's going to like. Ace-Queen against Queen-King. Queen. Daniel Negreanu likes to call it Queen. Raise 1.4 million. Nippler could just see a flop. He's not going to fold. He might be ready to pump it, though. Nobody else has pressed the evil green button yet. He does pump it. Caldini's not going anywhere. Nippler is going to need to see some diamonds or a king, just a king now. Nope. Nippler. You played great to get here. You started the final table as a chip leader. But safe to say, nothing went your way. $15,018 off of a $215 buy-in. I hope that makes up for it, though. Because that's a heck of a job. And I have seen Nippler around, so we know he'll be back. Again, I'm only planning on commentating a few tables, so we might not see him at one of these tables, but ooh, here's a hand. But we'll see him around. 3-5 flops a gut shot. Harry flops top pair, top kicker. At first, I thought that was an up and down straight draw for some reason. I thought that 6 was a 4, I guess. Bet from Caldini. Harry could check raise. Of course, I'm saying that knowing I can see the cards. And we know that'd be... Oh, he is going to go for it. I like that play. Caldini with just the gut shot really has nothing to do here. So, nice play. He got a little bit of extra money out of it and then just played his top pair, top kicker accordingly. There's another limp with a very playable, or raisable hand, rather. You know, I'm telling you, Harry Angel's been around. I've seen him make a lot of deep runs. You might be starting to see why. Limp, re-raise all in, pick up another one, and Harry Angel's now up to 16 million. That's 40 big blinds. He is dangerous. He's really dangerous. S-Ray Tack, I do applaud the effort. He has laddered up, of course. Which, the way he was running for most of the final table is impressive. I think at this point he's just willing to go for it. He's got to be content with 4th place money at this point. And he does flop top pair here. Donkey Pros with up and down straight draw. Maybe he's going for a check shove here. S-Reg, that is. Nope. Oh, Donkey Pros decides to check and see a turn card. He wanted the free card, and he's going to like it. S-Reg is not going to like it. S-Reg is drawing dead. And maybe just a little bit of impatience showing. Bets a street too late. Although I'm sure Donkey was going to call on the flop anyway. Maybe this is a bet to see where he stands. Just a call. Nice play again by Donkey. You know, they have a Donkey avatar. I'm surprised Donkey's not using that one. He's not using any avatars. Good restraint from S-Reg, not wanting to keep the pressure on the river. Now the question is, what does Donkey's bet size look like? 2.2 million? What does he think will call him? First of all, what does he think S-Reg has? And second of all, if he has that, what's going to call him? I'm going to go for all of it. I don't think S-Reg is going to call off his entire stack with just a king. Donkey probably has him on, what does he have him on? Two pair? Or maybe he just saying, you know what, forget what he has. I'm gonna act like this is the most obvious bluff ever. It looks very bluffy. But S-Rig makes the correct decision. I think Donkey tried a similar move earlier with the nuts, so good read by S-Rig. And he will go for it with a suited ace and 15 big blinds left. Again, 15 big blinds, you could argue, is worthy of seeing a flop, but at this point, with him not even having half as much as the next shortest stack, I like the all-in. Donkey Bras raises with a suited ace. Caldini with unsuited ace. Wow. Holds it. I mean, I don't like ace-8, but four-handed, I think you got to start accepting that as a playable hand. King-10. I'm always playing that. Well, at least for one raise. For two raises, maybe not. There's the all-in. There's the second raise. And Sreg, I'm sure, is very happy to take that one down. And I'd fold there if I'm Caldini there, too. If I could see that he's got just pocket fives, I'd call. But, you know, what if he's got ace-10 or ace-king? So S-Reg is not giving this one up at all. I didn't think he would. Just limp into Donkey Praz. Donkey Praz is going to be honest, though. He has terrible cards, too. And those flop is all big cards. Those flop is all big... What? Wow, my English is so bad. I've only been living in the United States for my entire life of 27 years. You know, I have every excuse to be bad at English. I have Asperger's syndrome. Does that work? Donkey with a raise, ace-7 offsuit, 6-5 off. Worthy of thinking about it. Thankfully, he doesn't enter the time bank for this one. I think Caldini's been playing very well, but he's definitely taking too long on some of these really easy pre-flop decisions, for my taste. I can't be the only one who thinks that that happy SpongeBob face just looks a little off. Like, the angle of his smile just seems a little bit wrong, considering his body is tilted one way. Or maybe it's just the fact that the dimples are encroaching onto his eyeballs. Maybe that's what's wrong. I'm overanalyzing a SpongeBob avatar instead of looking at poker. Thankfully, I didn't miss anything on that last hand. I think that alien guy is the most popular avatar out there. I see very few tables without an alien. And a lot of the aliens are puking too. Anyway, I'm just kind of dozing, aren't I? Raised by a Caldini, re-raised from Harry. Not all in, but it shouldn't make a difference. We've seen Harry push all in similar spots before with, you know, the 30-ish big blinds that he has. But he'll just, I'm sure he'll be happy to take that one down. I'm not at this table. I didn't even buy into this one because that would be my entire bankroll plus a few bucks. But, like, I'm scared of Harry Angel just looking here, man. I mean, he makes all these deep runs for a reason. And interesting re-raise there from Donkey Prize. We haven't seen a whole lot of that out of him tonight. And it works. I'm not saying he has a super tight table image. S-Reg is the one with the tight table image. But we haven't seen Donkey fool around too much pre-flop. And that's why that worked. Gonna raise the minimum again with... Like, see, if you're gonna raise with a crappy hand, why min raise? That's what I don't get about this. Big re-raise. If you raise more constantly around like 1.3 million, 1.25 million, you know, yeah, you'll fool people out when you have bigger cards, but if you want to abuse your table image a little bit, then that'll help you get more folds. But then I don't know why I'm making a comment like that when I can't even get past late reg. That flop benefits S-Reg a little bit. It benefits Donkey not at all. S-Reg with enough, I think, that he wants to float. He can call a bet that small. That's almost a min bet. And not the worst card ever for S-Reg, but it doesn't help him too much. He at least has a straight draw now. He has to hit a queen. Does he want to represent a 7, though? He is going to try to represent a 7. And Donkey with just ace high was going to give him the pot. Nicely played by S-Reg. And we're all over 10 million again. And the fact that he only bet about a third of the pot made it look extra convincing that he was just trying to catch a card. Okay, I got it. Now I'm going to bet a really small amount so that you have to call. I want you to call. Donkey's like, nope. And that's about my neighborhood that I talked about there, 1.35 million. Aldini with connectors. Not sure how much he wants to play. He's just going to let him have it. Everybody's playing well at this final table. I mean, I really, we got to give it up to these guys. There's a reason why, A, they made it here out of the field. I should have mentioned this at the top. The field was 1,517. There's a reason they made it here out of 1,517. There's a reason why they're still going and going and going, you know, deep into the night, because they can all play. Ooh, Donkey Bros with a suited ace-jack. Caldini with ace-10 off, but that's a 3-bet hand. 4-handed, that's a 3-better. Nope, just call. S-Reg with 8-9. I disagree with that fold. He just has to put in another 500,000. The pot's 2,950,000. I think the pot odds should tell him that it's worth splashing around at least to see, you know, what if. He was getting 6-1 on the call there. If he could have just gotten a really nice flop, then it would have been worth it. As it turned out, we see that he saved himself 500,000. Donkey Pros outflopped Caldini. Caldini outturns Donkey Pros. He's got the straight. At the moment, he's got the stone cold nuts. Donkey Pros could have bet the flop. I don't think Caldini would have folded. I think Donkey Pros is just going full on pot control here. I doubt he can fold just because he has that ace. Oh, he does fold. Wow, he got the memo real quick. Good fold by Donkey Pros. Caldini. Oh, some more big cards out there again, except for S-Reg, who couldn't see that coming. Harry's not messing around too much. And, you know, those medium aces are just really tough to play post-flop, and we're seeing a lot of the really good players here just not want to deal with them whatsoever, even though they're getting decent prices. So I might want to make a mental note of that. Even though I'm kind of there already. I don't like to play medium aces at all if I can help it. I fold them most often, but here, even 4-handed, they're saying no to them. This has the potential of a big pot, of course. Queen Jack versus Queen 10 with a queen out there. Caldini has to feel good about his hand at this point, and Donkey Praz with not a whole lot of reason to just give up here. He made a really good read on the last one. He didn't want anything to do with that last one. He's thinking. This would be a heck of a fold if he could make that now. I don't know if he's worried about him having a 3. He does make the call. Check. Pot's 8 million. And Caldini, after Donkey waited that long to make a call, you have to imagine that Caldini here is going to fire again, like 3.5, 3.6 million. No, he's just going to check. I'm a little surprised by that. Now, if Donkey had made a really quick call, that's a different story. And that's kind of what I like to do, is make really quick calls to keep my opponents honest. Let him know, okay, he snap called the turn, so he's probably going to snap call the river. I don't want to see if he's got a better hand than me. I'm just going to check. Suited ace rag can flop a straight. A little bit of a different story. Queen 9 is suited. Likes it just enough to play. Harry, again, playing fairly tight. And Caldini really loves that flop. And this could be the one that really puts Caldini over the top here, because he's in position to really dominate this table from now on. We're getting to that point where Caldini's got significantly more chips than the other players. So he can control the action now. And Donkey is just give him a little bit of a gift here. Caldini probably wants to slow play this. No, he's not. I'm a little surprised, but he'll do it his way. His way is working pretty well right now. I hope you're all entertained by this. This is some actual poker. And the dynamics just keep on shifting as we move along here. Now, again, nobody here is in desperation mode. Nobody here is in desperation mode, but Caldini really has a pretty tight grip on this table now. Boy, giving Harry Angel with aces. Ooh! That's exactly the kind of flop Harry was looking for. Donkey, thank God for Harry that Donkey doesn't have Queen 3. Donkey just has Queen 4, and it'll be very wise of him to play pot control, but he's not going to. Maybe adjusting his play after pot control hasn't really worked out that well in the last couple of hands. At least it hasn't made him win a hand. Now, Angel certainly doesn't love that check raise, because what if he does have a 3? But I doubt he's thinking of folding aces yet. Donkey, though, has taken the lead in the hand, the betting lead, that is, and he'll bet a third of the pot here. Harry is on the defensive here, but I really can't see him folding. He does just call. Oh! Well, now I really don't see him folding. And he acts second, too, so Donkey has a chance to bet now, and even if he doesn't, Harry can still fire out a bet on the river here. And Harry, with only 75% of the pot, this could be a full double up now if Donkey isn't careful. Just 2 million from Donkey, but here comes the all-in, and Donkey's gotta feel like such an idiot as soon as Harry Angel presses that all-in button. Donkey has played real well at this final table, but he's got to realize now that he's been overplaying that queen the whole way. He shouldn't have raised on the flop, and he's just cost himself a bundle of chips. Harry has played this beautifully. And he's about to have 19 million in front of him. At least Donkey had the good sense to fold, even though he was objectively getting pretty good odds there, but he knew that Harry just never bluffing there. But Donkey Praz gives up what's that, 40% of his chips. And Harry Angel now has a lot of chips. Now, if that ace doesn't come on the river, I doubt that Harry raises it. But, you know. That 2 million on the river actually for Donkey was more of a blocker bet than anything else. But blocker bet's not going to work when your opponent has aces full. Nothing too interesting happening here. They each have gut shots. Not really a big pot right now. They also each have a decent high card that they might be willing to check down just on those merits alone. River card's a brick. Check. Check, I assume. The ace high has a little bit of merit to it. Yeah, he's gonna check. S-Reg takes it. Donkey Pros now the short stack. And that's really the only hand that he's misplayed at this final table, and that's just how quickly it can happen. We all overplay our hands sometimes. You know, certainly not going to label him a bad player just for that. But that really snuck up on him. Okay, here we go. S-Reg with bottom pair and now a gut shot. Harry Angel had nothing. Now he does have a gut shot. Harry's going to keep betting. He knows he's up against the shortest stack and the tightest player. Don't think S-Reg is going anywhere just yet. He does. Ooh, he hits two pair, but Harry Angel has the stone cold nuts. He is going to bet. S-Reg has to call. There's just no way he gets away from this. Because Harry's been, like, betting on air the whole way. He knows he doesn't necessarily have to have a 7. He's taking a while, though. Wow, what a fold! I thought he was deciding whether or not to call or raise. I honestly thought he was willing to just go all in there and hope that Harry had like ace-jack or something, but he folded. That's an amazing fold by S-Reg Tack. Two pair. He wasn't even facing an all-in. I mean, I snap call that. There's no thought whatsoever. I snap call that. Pocket 10s for S-Reg. I want to see him win this one. He deserves a little reward after that laydown. He really didn't lose that many chips at all. He's still obviously short-ish and the blind just went up, but he's still in this if we can just double up one more time. Well, he did win the hand. Probably wanted a little bit more from it, but that was a heck of a fold. Because, again, Harry was betting on every street. So he did not have to have a 7 because there was no straight draw on the flop. You know, he was just betting and betting and betting. So there really was no reason to believe he had a 7. He can't win that pot without a 7. You know? Just a great, great fold. Caldini with a pretty empty raise with queen 4 of clubs. S-Ray with ace 10. Right on the tip of the re-shoving range again. Thinking about it, this is warranted. He is going to re-raise, not re-shove, but that should work. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't re-raise all in here. He only has 15 big blinds. I mean, I like post flop play with 15 big blinds, but a 3-bet really should be all in. But it does get the job done. S-Reg, clearly not here by accident. I mean, I've said it before. I mean, these guys are all playing very good poker. There are no accidents here. This is just really good high-level poker. I think I can very safely say all four of these guys are much better than me. So I'm definitely not ready for the $215 buy in tournaments if this is my competition. I just wonder why I can't beat $2.50 tournaments yet. I would have hoped that I'm good enough for that, but whatever. Suited ace is the raise. Donkey, again, this is one of those spots where you just hate the fact that you're short stack because it's such a nice hand to see a flop and see what happens, but he's looking for an all-in now. Caldini is dominated, but I understand the call. And, hey, Harry Angel, you want to custom order a flop? That's about what he would ask for. That should just be that. Take it down. Harry Angel, 25.5 million now. Right on Caldini's tail. After being short stacked almost the whole final table. I warn you, this guy is good. This guy is running deep in most of the big tournaments I see on ACR, and we're seeing why. I was hoping to see why, because, yeah, he's good. Doesn't even think about it with the ace-5. Now, to be fair, that was a big raise. Donkey Pros probably has to go for it with the suited ace-8. And he's got to be very happy he wasn't called. No one except for our 7th place finisher has ever asked for a deal. These are my kind of guys. They're really good at poker, and they're playing straight up. Caldini does not have this table by the throat anymore. He's still obviously good, but it's not a chokehold by any means. All in again. Pretty easy all in with ace-10. Harry with a bit of a decision, but based on the way he's been folding his medium aces before, I imagine he's going to get away from this one. It wouldn't be the worst call in the universe if he does go for it. There's a lot of small pairs and like King Jack, King Queens in Donkey Pros' range here. He is going to call. Ooh. Okay, well the 8's no good. He has to hit a 5 or a 10 now. That's a 10. Harry Angel, good and lucky. Donkey Pros played a very nice table, final table. Obviously a nice tournament to get here, with just the one exception being overplaying that pair of queens. But other than that, he did very well. Kudos to him. 4th place, over $20,000. 20,000 well-earned dollars. And we're finally done to 3-handed. S-Reg. S-Reg's starting to stand up for himself a little bit. Obviously, he certainly has no choice. If he wants to have any hope of winning this tournament at all, he has to stand up for himself. He's really not egregiously trying to ladder up. He's just taking whatever the game gives him. And it's gotten him this far. I respect it. You know, look, for a while, like he might have to settle for 5th place because 5-handed was going on forever. That was 15,000. He's already guaranteed 13,800 more. That's kind of a lot of money. Anyway, rejoining this hand, we have a pair of 7s against a gut shot. Nothing too thrilling here. Caldini also has ace high, so he might be content to check it down. I don't think Harry's going to bet a 7 here. Yeah, check. Ace King for S-Reg. You know what? I think it just now occurred to me. His name could be a corruption of straight talk. Now, it's from Lithuania. I don't know if it's a language barrier or anything, or if I'm just wrong. I might just be wrong. Maybe those are words in Lithuanian. I don't know. But maybe I'm supposed to be saying Sreg talk or something like that. But normally, whenever I just come up with a way to pronounce a username, I just pick one way and go with it. Again, it's not like these guys can hear me or see me, and they can't just tell me how they want me to say their name. So I'll just pick one way and go through with it, and if you don't like it, I don't blame you, but you're gonna have to stick with it. Raise from Harry Angel. Regular raise. Regular raise, not all it. Oh, there is a difference. I really am not sure why S-Rig decided to play the Jack 5 suited there. That one he could have let go, honestly. But hey, Harry just followed it up and won the pot anyway, so nice work there. Harry and Caldini pretty much just waiting for S-Reg to go out. He might have enough to move all in here. He's not going to like it, but he might have enough. Now, Harry called all in with the ace-8 earlier. Four-handed. Will he call it three-handed? No, he will not. S-Reg does get some more respect. Not that Donkey wasn't playing respectable poker, obviously, but... I mean, S-Reg has been pretty protective of his chips. Plus, maybe the fact that Harry saw that he was behind when he made that call against Donkey Prize. Maybe that kind of made him think, maybe next time I shouldn't call an all-in with ace-8. Like, Harry's not stupid. I'm sure he knows, you know, when he gets lucky, that should not be an encouragement to keep playing that way. Caldini's been playing the pair of nines very softly. May go for some thin value here. Yeah, he is, but Queen High is not going to pay him off. This should be a quick one. S-Rig may play the 6-4. No. Nice looking cards for S-Rig. What was that? He's lost almost all of his time bank. He almost auto-folded the ace-10 suited. Now, we can't see the time banks from this perspective, but in case you haven't seen my first-person perspectives of me playing tournaments, all the players can see their own time bank before it activates. So they know how much time they have to spare. The Jack-2 at least hit a piece of that flop. The Ace-10 did not. Caldini betting the minimum. S-Reg with just Ace-High. It's good now, but does he really want to stick it through, knowing that Caldini can bet him all in any moment? Yeah, he's just going to get rid of it. He really just should have raised pre-flop. I really don't understand why he tanked to the point of almost auto-folding and just limping in at the end. Ooh, re-raise from Harry Angel and S-Ray with a real bear of a decision here. And he does fold. I think he folded because Harry Angel at that point was pretty priced in. And S-Ray is just hoping that he can find a better hand to go for it. Ace-2 of hearts raises. 8-9 of hearts. Probably has to peel one off again. We're three-handed. You can't really just run and hide. Ooh, that feels good, doesn't it, S-Ray? Snap check. Hope that Caldini falls for it. Then you can pick your pot up right there. Bonus. That flop actually seems so safe that he might just call. Normally, I would think about pulling the trigger right there, just check raise and get the hand over with. He is going to do that. How do we thinking? Can I get more than 600,000 though? But he'll just stick with that. It at least gives him a little bit more time before he has to get super desperate. And good, he's learning. Much quicker, raises this time with a pretty good hand, and wins the hand instead of limping in and folding after the flop. This, I would advocate just, yeah, walk. I mean, all eyes have to be on S-Reg. Because this won't really become a game again unless he either gets knocked out or he wins a significant pot again. Oh, badly timed 3-bet. I would have expected a call because three-handed, any king is really not that bad of a hand. But he's going to 3-bet it small, and Caldini with an easy all-in here, and S-Reg just has to sheepishly fold and go back down to 8 million. That works. I don't think Caldini is going to play the 10-7, though. Nothing for either player here. That might be the most nothing flop I've ever seen. Well, now they each have a flush that they can pretend they have. But this might fall under the category of ICM suicide, so they might not. Well, Harry just Snapchat. He is clearly just done with this hand, so if Caldini wants to, he can probably bet and just take it. But he checked. Now Harry not so quick to check back. But he does check. He knows that a bet there will receive pretty much no credibility whatsoever. I do think Caldini would find a call in him with the king high there if he had done that. King 10, King Jack. For S-Reg, this might well be an all-in. And a call. Yep. Three-handed King Jack, you gotta go for it. S-Reg, no club, he has to hit a 10, or could chop it with a 3. Nope. Overkill. S-Reg, you did a wonderful job. Considering the kind of hands you were getting this final table, you laddered up to third place. And that was a heck of a job. And Harry decides to click the evil green button. We know they don't agree to a deal, but it still makes me so sad. They're both British, too. The two UK guys are now heads up. Houdini with a much better flop there. Raised to 1.4 million. Oh, I should probably go back and refer to the payouts. Yeah, 28,792 for S-Reg. Didn't we see this exact same hand a little while ago? With S-Reg. Oh, I know, it was 9-10-9, not 10-9-9. Or 10-9-10. Numbers. Anyway, this could go on a while, as we can see, with Harry being the short stack at 43 big blinds, Caldini having 63. Two, three, king. Can anyone use any of that at all? I don't think so. Like running 5-6. Well, there's a 6. Caldini, congratulations, you have a gut shot now. And he'll bet it, and that should win it. Harry with absolutely nothing. Unless he wants to get creative. No. That's right. He clicked the evil green button, so he's going to play a little bit more conservatively. Caldini is doing a good job getting on my good side. You know, he's my hero. I am expecting Caldini to eventually hit the evil green box. But, of course, they'll end up rejecting the deal and playing for it straight up. We've seen that before. Oh, they both hit their straight. What do you think? Bet, raise, call? So it's a paired board and there's 3 hearts out there. Yeah. I think Harry's going to ask for a little more than 735. Yeah, there's the raise and probably just a call. Not much good can come from... Yeah. Yeah, right. And you know what else is a truth? Everyone loves a chop pot. That should be the end of that one. The beginning and the end. Ten-7 of hearts. Very playable heads up. Ace-3 of diamonds. Could have raised. Could have raised. Well, that flop is being used pretty well by both players. I think he's certainly not going anywhere. To raise might be overplaying it a bit. Ooh! This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt real bad. Eyes are starting to strain, so I'll turn my lights on as soon as this hand's over. Big bet by Harry, and he's picked a good time to size up the bet because Caldini is pretty much in an inescapable spot now. For heads up, especially. He's not going to raise here because it looks like he has 3 pair, but. Oh my! I was going to say he had the ace with no kicker. Now he has tens full of aces, with, of course, Harry having quads. Now Caldini really might raise all in. Never mind, he's going to bet all in for him to make it look like a total bluff. The only thing Caldini loses to is ace-ace or a 10. The last 10 in the deck. Those are the only ways he can lose his hand. Pocket kings, pocket threes do not beat him here. I think he has to call and hope he's chopping. Harry Angel with the quad tens gets the full double up to 58 million and change. Not much Caldini can do there, but just shake his head. I would not have been the one to, just push all in and make it look all bluffy like that, but Harry just felt that Caldini had an ace. He was right. There's the only way you would ever want to do that is if you think your opponent's got an ace. Otherwise, you would have bet something like, I don't know, 4.5 million. So that a 3 would call or a small pocket pair. Not much going on here. My hair's developed into a full-on afro at this point. So it just came off of... I took a bathroom break. Just came off of a huge double up by Harry Angel. The quads over the ace. Sends the raises. There's a good stuck for Harry. Four spades were called any, obviously. I can commend Harry at least for one thing. He's at least remaining true to himself and still offering Caldini the chance to chop if he wants. Though I would have liked to see him just immediately remove the evil green button after that double up. But that seems like the more gentlemanly thing to do. Oh, wow. Caldini's going to play the draw aggressively. Which I guess makes sense. Now that he's so down in chips. And Harry's going to call with the ace high. Which does not make a lot of sense to me, but then again, he is in fact ahead. So, actually, he's playing great. Caldini does not know what to make of that call, and he slows down. Check back from Harry, and Harry's going to hit his jack. So if Caldini was wanting to bluff the river, which I imagine he does, no, he's not going to. It would not work. There's the bet. Caldini has king high. Fold. I think that the slowing down the turn was a good idea, though, because that 8 of clubs did not change much. If Harry was willing to call the raise on the flop, he probably isn't going anywhere on that 8 of clubs turn. So it sucks that he has to slow down after giving up so many chips in that last night. Well, I say giving up, but there really wasn't a lot he could do about that one. He needs to preserve whatever little chips he has left, because he's got to fight back somehow. And the blinds are big, but they're not that big, and they go up every 15 minutes, which in online terms is plenty of time. Now, Caldini, surprised he made that call. It just felt like a spot where there was no upside. Of course, there is upside, which is the fact that he's actually ahead with Queen High, and he's still ahead. I'm almost forgetting that this is heads up. Quarter pot, and that gets the job done. Well done, Caldini. I would have just given it up on the flop, but he has other ideas. He has better ideas. Min raise is not going to get through, and he's got king 8 of clubs. Not heads up. And we have another completely useless flop. And I thought Harry might continue with the king, but I'm okay with the fold too. Caldini chipping away. That should be a fold. That should be a fold. Thank you. See those chips. 55 plays 20 million. Caldini is just one double up away from evening up the game again. In fact, he'll take a little bit of a chip lead. But Harry knows how to keep his man down. If you have an ace, heads up, you don't want to live with it. You don't want to go crazy with it, but you want to at least put in one raise. Eight six likes that flop a little bit. The King of Hearts likes that flop a little bit. Actually, the three of spades also enjoys that flop a little bit. I don't think they actually give you bracelets for winning these Hi5 series events. But if they did, the bracelet's going to the UK no matter what here. Caldini with the raise, the check raise even. But Harry has just enough that he wants to keep going, and there's a turn card that Caldini pretty much picked out of the deck himself. He picked up every draw in the galaxy there. He'll bet it, and then he'll get it done. Very nice. He didn't even have a draw on the flop, but he played it aggressively anyway, and it's working out for him. This is far from over. I say that both abstractly based on the play we're seeing, and also the fact that the bar is still a ways away from the end. Two crappy but suited cards. Okay. Interesting flop. Two diamonds, one spade. Let's see a spade on the turn, please. For maximum dramatic effect. Oh. Well, that's something at least. 10 for a straight. If Caldini even wants to see it. Let's see how much Harry wants to bet. Ooh, that's a pretty big bet. I wouldn't want to see it, honestly. I would just fold. Yeah. 6 high wins the pot. Ooh, the blinds went up. King, Jack of spades. Very pretty hand. Harry with 2-4 offsuit. No, thank you. Move on. 130-minute final table. Not done yet. We're now at the point where there's less than 100 big blinds in play. So you know that things are going to get done. Pair of eights, good enough for a bet there, absolutely. Caldini with king high. And again, he's going to play his non-draw aggressively. He's got backdoor, so that's it. Snap call from Harry. That's got to be discouraging, though. The speed of that call should tell Caldini it's time to just lay it down and try again. Now, Harry could just check back. If he bets, he's probably turning this into a bluff, actually. Wacky number, but he just wants to pick up the pot right now, and he will. He probably took that cue, Caldini just checking the turn as a sign that, okay, he's done. I can just take the pot now. You see how there's two twos in Caldini's hand? There's two twos on the board. I'd say that's a very good flop. Problem is, Harry has 9 high, and he's probably not going to give Caldini another dime. Obviously, that was a good idea to just check the flop. Does he want to make a small bet on the turn? I totally get it if he would. He is, and he's going to be so sad. Ugh. He didn't show the quads. You gotta show quads. Everybody shows quads. Or is that not a thing anymore? I've actually kind of noticed that a couple of times in the 2022 main event that I still haven't finished watching. People aren't showing quads as much these days. The average poker player is still a pretty nice guy, but I guess we're just not that into showing quads anymore. Of course, I show my cards a lot, even if I don't have quads. Which, you know, not having quads will happen more often than not. I got nothing else to add. I'm just going to chew this peppermint. It's a Bob. Bob's Sweet Stripes. Soft peppermint candies. Number sign not sponsored. Not much here. Just a limp. Interesting. Ooh. Pretty good looking flop for Caldini. This should be a quick one. Why'd he check? Do you think betting his draw will be too predictable? I guess he's just content to show down the value of King High. It'll work. Okay, I don't know what he's trying to do. I genuinely have no idea what Caldini's angle was in that hand. Snap raise the 7-8. Caldini's definitely not going anywhere with this hand. Good 3-bet. Just cold. Here we go. Replace that 6 of hearts with a 5 of hearts, and you've really got some fireworks. 5 of diamonds. So Harry does have a pair and a straight draw. Caldini just with the queen high flush draw, but the queen and the jack is good enough. So Caldini's got plenty of outs. Big bet by Harry, though. We've seen that quite a few times. And the ace of clubs comes. Caldini will pick up a nice pot there. Checks it. I'm sure Harry's smart enough to check back. Yeah. Caldini trying to induce another big bet because he did bet big on the turn, but no, the betting was over. Still a nice pot for Caldini. And as it turns out, if Caldini had bet like 4.5, 5 million, I don't know if Harry calls anyway. Three bet. Fold. Baldini is not going down without a fight. Of course, he started the heads up as chip leader, but obviously that one gigantic hand, which he really couldn't escape from. He tried to. He gave it his best ever, but he could not fold that. Okay, that's a big ball in. We've seen much smaller 3-bet sizes earlier in this heads-up match. That's gonna get 3-bet. See, that's a regular 3-bet there. 4.8 million. You can fold now, Caldini. Thank you. Ace Queen suited for Caldini. Now we're suddenly establishing a new pattern here. Button gets crappy hand, raises it anyway because it's heads up. And then blind gets really good hand and 3-bets and wins it. See, you don't have to go all in. 5.2 million is plenty. Ace 8. Oh, now they both have playable hands here. Just a call. That's been a trend the whole final table. There's a raise to 2.8 million with Queen 9 offsuit. I don't know if I like that. Of course, I can see the cards, but we've seen a lot of that too. We've seen a lot of limp raise all-ins. You know, I don't know why Harry wanted to open himself up to that, because that's been happening a lot at the time here. And suddenly this is getting kind of close. It may not look like it on first inspection, but this match is suddenly a whole lot closer. Caldini may trail by 18 million, but you can make that up in one hand easily. When you're heads up, whatever you trail by, if the total pot size is that big and you win it, that means that you've tied it up. Or if it's bigger than that, of course, you've taken the lead. 4-3 likes that flop. King 5 probably likes that flop. They both like this flop. Harry bets it accordingly. Caldini, we've seen him play his draws aggressively. Let's see if he wants to do that again here. Even if he doesn't even have a draw, he'll play it aggressively. But yep, he does it again. I wonder if Harry... It seems like Harry's got his motions down pretty well. Because he snap called again. Caldini now with one card to go, needing to hit a ace or a 6. Wondering if it's a good idea to bet here, and he decides it isn't. He does hit his 4. It's no good, though. Harry content to check it down for the value of his pair. If Caldini bets here, it's definitely a bluff. He's not betting the strength of his pair of 4s. Goes check, check, and Caldini is becoming distant again. Nice win for Harry Angel. Raise, 3-bet probably. Oh, all in. Fold. Raise. Gotta be a call, you'd think. Ooh. Here's a decision now. Or, okay. Harry's very quick-minded, that's for sure. Once he makes up his mind, he makes up his mind. And that's part of why he's so dangerous and why he keeps on making all these deep runs in final tables. Like, he's very quick about making up his mind. He goes with his gut, and it's usually right. Like, every time I flop middle pair and I get check raised, I don't snap call, okay? But this guy just keeps snap calling, and he's hit his pair of kings with a 4th diamond. Caldini has literally the worst flush but it is a flush, so he wins. You might go for a thin value bet here. He doesn't want to get raised. He won't get raised, though. There he does call with the king, and nice little pickup there. Yaks for Angel. 8-7 offsuit for Caldini. Don't 3-bet. He 3-bet. Time for the all-in. And the fold. $57 million now for Harry Angel. He can just taste it. You know, sometimes these heads-up chip counts can just be like a total yo-yo. But Harry's managing to keep his foot down on Caldini once he took that really big pot. Caldini came close, but now he's back to where he's been most of this heads-up. He made a run at it, but he's got to make another run at it now. Seven, 5 of diamonds. Let's see if Harry wants to try and raise, even though he's been messed with several times. He knows that an all-in could be coming, and he can't call an all-in. It'll take that long. It's pre-flop. Queen high versus 7 high. 1 diamond out there. But Caldini wins it. 6 jack of hearts, 3 7 of clubs. I like the 6 jack. How many times have we seen somebody with jack X end up with a flop that has 2 jacks on it? We've seen that at least thrice. Caldini's turn, maybe? No, but he does get a 7, and that's good enough for now. $147 at the final table. Harry with king high could peel, but nah, he'll just give it up. He's got such a nice chip lead. He's been dominating this heads up, so he doesn't want to push any really small edges. Well, then he's certainly not done. But he could use a cooler going his way now. Because Harry is just not making many mistakes. If any. He does pick up a 5 here, which is what he needed. 6 does nothing. Caldini does not have a straight draw. And should just fold this. Unless he wants to get creative. Thinking about it? No. I want to believe he was genuinely thinking about raise bluffing there. But we've seen this so many times. Harry Angel just immediately picks him off and calls. That one might have been tougher, though. It was on the turn. But Harry has shown a particular stickiness, particularly after that big hand where he won. He knows that he can keep playing around with Caldini and you know, he won't go broke. He knows that he can just keep playing, and if Caldini is just pushing on a draw, then, you know, you can catch him, and Caldini will probably get discouraged, and he can just take the pot down later. He's been following that formula the whole heads up, and it's worked beautifully. I think Caldini's gotten wise to it and knows that Harry is not to be trifled with. He does have the pair of 8s. That's good enough. Harry has slowed down, maybe willing to show down the king high. not much upside in betting the 8, I would think. Oh, he's going to try it anyway. I don't think Harry's going to call that much with a king, though. I don't know what that bet is. I don't know if that's a bluff or if he's serious and thinks that a pair of 5s will call. Maldini's been the one making a lot more of these slightly odder plays where he's betting a hand that doesn't have a whole lot of showdown value. Well, it has some, but not much, basically. Harry has been far more willing to just check it down. Oh, wow. Caldini picked that one out of the deck. Now, to be fair to Caldini, it is kind of refreshing to see a short stack go for these odd plays like that. Like, he's standing up for himself in a way that not many would. So, you know, it's worth crediting. Harry with a pair of 10s and a small flush draw does make the call, and that is exactly what Caldini was looking for. Now, he doesn't have the ace of spades, but he feels pretty good, I think, at this point, that Harry Angel doesn't have it. Probably doesn't want to go for the all-in. He might try, though. Let's see what he does. I doubt he's just going to check it back. He is going to go for the all-in. I kind of like this play because he's just saying, you know what, if you have the ace of spades, oh, well, I just got screwed. Whatever. But if you don't, then I'm going to show you what looks like a huge bluff. This looks like a bluff. You know I would never do this with the ace, and he does pay it off. Great play by Caldini. It looked like a bluff. Harry decided to just go with his gut, and for once, his gut was wrong. I love that play, because you know he's never doing that with the ace of spades, but he thinks, you know what, you don't have the ace of spades, so I'm going to put you to the test. What a flop! Top 2 versus... Actually, it's not that exciting, but it's top 2 against an up and down straight draw. Full house. Caldini's ahead, but for how long? Pretty big bet there. Caldini may give this one up. Especially with the board pairing. He doesn't know he's drawing dead. He is. He is going to call, and okay, well, now he can get away from it. And we're pretty much dead even now. Assuming that Harry bets and Caldini folds. Check. Don't do it. Such a good check, though. The only way Caldini wins is by betting. Oh, no! He went for the all-in just like last hand. It worked last time. He was hoping that Harry would believe him now that he's shown down a good hand after he did that. He's hoping that what just happened last time, obviously it's playing straight through Harry's head, but this time Harry wanted it. That was such a good check by Harry on the river there. And Caldini is indeed in shove or fold mode. We see the blinds just went up to 500,000, 1 million. He's got 13 million. Here we go. This could be it. Although I don't see Harry calling with the Jack 2, even after committing 2 million. It's still 11.7 left, and yeah, he doesn't need to be messing around with Jack 2. Yaks. He could just do it. Oh, he's going to limp in. Ooh. Not a great flop for Yaks. But at this point, I think he'll take his chances. And fold. I feel like Caldini didn't quite have to go for the all-in there. He could have bet, like, pot size, and that probably would have gotten the job done. Well, it wouldn't have, obviously. Harry's got full house, but that's when Harry raises and he can get out and just be tied rather than be way behind. Or maybe a little bit behind, you know. Harry with 8-6. Aldini, happy to see a free flop. Harry with a bet, and Caldini, yeah. Got a couple back doors, but that's not really one you want to stick your tournament on. Queen 8 versus Queen 5. Another custom-ordered flop for Harry Angel. He's played fantastic. Certainly helps to get a few flops like these once in a while, though. Check raise. Got an extra million, and he is left with just 11.6. Life is good for Harry Angel. All in. Fold. Even closer now. Getting in now, and Harry just... Wow, Harry just got him totally crushed. Needs a jack, still needs a jack, and a jack only... Nope! Harry Angel is the champion of Hi5 event number 12. Excuse me, 12. There you go. There are the payouts. Strange that Caldini doesn't even get any cents. Everybody else has cents on there for some reason. I don't know why they're divvied up by cents when it's like $200 going into the prize pool. It seems like completely random and arbitrary numbers, but yeah, whatever. Again, very nicely played by everybody at that final table. We really saw very, very few mistakes by the whole final table. So, you know what? If a final table is going to take really, really long to cover, I'm glad it was that one, because that was genuinely fun to watch. The next one that I have up for doing a commentary of is event number 24, mostly because its name is awesome. Its name is... Let me go up and check it. Oh crap, are we... Oh no, I need to find it. I see a notification on my ACR as well. Pauses. There it is. Hi5 event number 24. $55 buy-in, $60,000 prize pool. The Magic Dragon. I don't know why I'm saying I'm going to do that one, because, as you know, if they end up chopping the money, I'm just going to say forget it. But see you in whatever the next one I cover is. This one was a pleasure.